Kunanta by Sultan. What a vibey, nice nasheed. We've got more coming your way. It is Career Campus with Kelly Ramzani every Thursday, 1 to 2 p.m. Now, I'm joined by G10, who we'll be speaking to. Before that, I want to ask you, last week we spoke about a very rare, unusual, but important soft skill to have. And alhamdulillah, the response was quite confusing. Okay, normally I'm used to people telling me, oh, yes, I did implement that. It worked out just fine. Last week, somebody told me, I don't think ethical judgment is good for the workplace. And I was shocked. I was taken aback. I'm like, what do you mean? I absolutely love a difference of opinion because it's an opportunity for me to learn. So this person was like, I think many workplaces love ruthless people. And I was like, how did we get there? How did we think that dirty politics is the way to win? It's not. It's all about uplifting one another. But that's a topic for another day. For today, I want us to talk about the importance of story listening. Now, story listening is a soft skill that many people don't know is a soft skill. We know storytelling is, but story listening, because as human beings, we are always sharing stories. That's how we relate to one another. I tell you how I feel. That is me telling you my story. You tell me how your fish died. That's a sad story, but okay. And that's how we convey and learn and relate to one another. We also live, by the way, on Facebook and on YouTube. I got my shades on. Not that I'm trying to be cool, but my eyes are a bit sensitive today. So I do apologize about that if you think it's a bit rude to wear shades while on air or on radio or on visuals at this point. But nevertheless, back to story listening. Now, story listening is very important, especially if you are in the workplace. Depending on whichever career path that you're in, it is important for you to understand your target audience, hear their stories so that you are able to produce what they're asking you for. Because leaders who listen to stories of their colleagues or of their team members, they assist with growth and motivation. Marketers who listen to customer stories help with more meaningful campaigns. Okay, they are great at designing what the people have been asking for. And right now, if you know how the market is going, it's not just about making a sale, hitting the target or the figures. It's also about value. It's about storytelling. It's about uniqueness. It's about standing out. So what's your story? Because I want to listen to it. I want to listen to your story. Share it with us on 060-904-1056. For the teachers who used to listen to me and my stories, I will never forget you because you taught me things in life that I still apply to till this day. For teachers, social workers, HRs, and therapists, and so many people, they're constantly listening to other people's experiences and stories by sharing empathy and building trust and inclusion and healing. So I urge you to practice the soft skill of listening, story listening. You have to be non-judgmental. Yeah, that's the word. Don't be judgmental. If you are listening, in order for you to hear what the person is telling you, you have to wipe out all those judgments that are clouding your mind. All right. So that is the soft skill that we will be sharing with you for this week. I think it's absolutely important. Do implement it, apply it, and see what it will do to you. For anybody else that might say, hey, I tried it, it didn't work, I want to hear why. Share your thoughts on 060-904-1056. Now we're stepping into the moment, the interview for today. But first, let's catch a breather. Let's take a few seconds.
يرضيني كي أرضيني سأكون أنا مثلي تماما هذا أنا فقناعتي تكفيني ذاك يقيني جوهرنا هنا في القلب تلالا
Yes, so we are now going to be speaking to Jitan, who is here with us in studio. He is a Durban-based tech innovator and founder of Caesar AI, Africa's first fully email-driven AI platform designed to make artificial intelligence more accessible, affordable, and locally relevant for South African. Absolutely love that point, because sometimes we get platforms and we get so many other assistants that are not relevant. Okay. And I know you're probably wondering, how is it an assistant or an assisting tool, yet it's not relevant? Well, it might be designed to not understand the life in the country. It might be designed to accommodate the globe, the universe, and not catered for you specifically to your needs. You understand, right? Now, this is the part that I really love the most. He designed this platform with the hope and mission to empower people, to educate and to support South Africans, championing dignity, innovation, and the future of SA. Now, you have to bear in mind that Jitan is packed with a background in programming and AI studies through UT Austin, Texas. You already know we're talking to a powerhouse, somebody that is well educated in his career. Now, Jay has spent over 2 decades creating tools that break down barriers to education, employment, and information. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the honor of the presence of having Jitan Bora with us in studio. Hi, Jitan. How are you?
Hi, Kelly. Thank you for having me.
Absolute pleasure to have you, and thank you so much for being here with us. I absolutely admire your project, your AI tool, but more importantly, your intention to want to help. And I want to know, what does AI mean to you? Because with many people, there's so many fears, there's so many doubts, but to you, what does it mean and how does it work? And what actually motivated you to create Caesar AI?
That's a great question. That's at the core of everything that we've done. Those doubts that everyone's feeling, I'm feeling them too, those fears as well. Coming from the technical side of AI, you can kind of see where it's going to fit into the next 5 years, 10 years. You can see the effects of what it's going to bring, the consequences, I'll say. And I started Caesar because I was a bit afraid of where we were in that growth curve as a country. We can't afford to absorb the shift that's coming with AI. We already have our own problems to deal with, and we're trying to fix them as best we can. And then we got this whole new problem to deal with. And with our rates in unemployment, it's just, I feel like if we don't get ahead of this while we can, we might be in a far worse position later on.
Absolutely. Now, for somebody that is listening right now, they are wondering, okay, you created this platform because of the fears that you had, with the intention to assist. How can it help people with the everyday needs, people like you and I?
So AI is essentially, all it is you can talk to machine. That machine can now for the first time understand you, and it can talk back to you. In terms of how it helps, it could help in many ways. Basically, if you can picture yourself having this perfect memory, whatever you read, it just gets stored, and you can recall it whenever someone answers or asks you a question.
Wow!
So that's kind of what AI is in very, very basic terms. You can use it in whatever way you think it can help you in there, but you can store specialist knowledge, like knowledge about accounting, if you're an accountant, things that you always have to Google. And I think in the workplace, we all use Google like way too much. AI is kind of your friend just around, that you can always like turn to and ask if you're stuck, or if you need some help, or if you're not sure on something. And it's just a general purpose tool that can help in any way.
Brilliant. So how do you see AI shaping the future of businesses in South Africa, especially for young entrepreneurs?
That is it. So if if you just can bear with me, I just wanted to.
Not a problem at all. Because the one thing that I absolutely love that you mentioned, is that it stores this memory of the things that we use daily, things that are important in the workplace. And sometimes, especially in the workplace, when you are young, you've got so many ideas and you are moving at a rapid pace to a point where your chain of thoughts might not come out as critical or maybe composed or maybe, well structured. So having a tool like that can help you recall or pull up something that you stored, I think is really great for businesses. But you as the inventor, how do you think this will help young South Africans?
Okay, so speaking of young entrepreneurs, starting a business is hard. I think Gen Zs might have the added difficulty of managing people. They're full of ideas. They're big, bold ideas, but when the time comes to delegate, they might struggle.
100%.
And to be a bit confrontational. To get, I think in the beginning of your show, you said you have to be ruthless to succeed in the workplace. And that's not really the idea that I get from the young entrepreneurs coming up today. They're much more human. They're much more empathetic.
100%.
And so we know that that's going to be a bit in conflict with how you run a business, because a business needs efficiency. And we can't be that accommodating and compassionate all the time.
100%.
So how I see young entrepreneurs really benefiting from this is that they can essentially have AI serve as their own COO to handle all the stuff that they may not be wanting to handle. They don't need to micromanage anymore. They can set rules in an AI system. Basically, point 1, make sure that the report is done at this time, and point 2, and they can go on to point 1,000. And it's not something that you would hand over in the form of a training manual to your employee, but the employee can now converse with that AI, and that AI can guide that employee during the normal work activities or whatever else that's required of them. I think young entrepreneurs might see that as a great help to them when they're starting their new ventures or whatever else they're doing.
Absolutely. And I'm going to ask you this question, right? Based on the response that you've given me right now, but that we're going to keep that for later. For now, I just want us to finish this conversation that we're having. I don't want us to divert, but there are so many people that think that we are becoming too dependent on AI. We've allowed it to run our lives, to become the final say, basically, and that takes away from the human essence, in terms of communication, in terms of how we connect with one another, and I want to hear your opinion. But before that, I just want to ask you spoke about how young people can use AI to help them in their businesses, especially with the situations where they feel they do not want to handle, so rather AI would do that. How can young people, whether in school, universities, or school hunting, start using AI to improve their future? We spoke about the business perspective. Now, how can we use AI for the future in all areas of our lives?
That's a great question. I'm going to be a bit blunt over here. The traditional interview process, I think, is a bit dead. Everyone sounds good on paper. Everyone knows exactly what to say in their CVs. Everyone is trained. Every guru is telling them, do this, don't do that. And you get the other side, who's the employer, and they know also what's going on. They wise up to it. How the youth can use this, I think, is to ease the concern of the employer, which is probably one of the main concerns, is the question that the employer is asking themselves: is this a bad hire? Right? Am I going to regret this? And I think the youth today, if they can understand how AI cannot replace them, but how they can work with AI and how they can infuse that into their CVs to ease those concerns of the employer, that, you know what, you don't have to train me. You can tell me something once and I'll never forget it. And I will do everything as you require it, and it'll free up a lot of the time I have, because a lot of the heavy lifting might be done by AI. It might not be done by AI. But I think that the ones who can ease those concerns from employers, I think those are the ones who will stand out and get the jobs in the future.
Absolutely. Now you spoke about, having to allow or hand rather some of the tasks to AI to do it. And this might bring up the concern that isn't that giving away my job to AI? Isn't that they're taking away our jobs? Now, how do you see AI playing a positive role, especially in South Africa, with the current economic climate that we have?
Yeah, that's what happens when you give AI all your information. Do you become redundant? That is probably the biggest fear everyone has. There is that school of thought. However, let's picture a scenario in the future. Let's say 5 years down the line, where every company is using AI, and there's no competitive advantage to to having an AI. AI is only as smart as the information it currently has or exists.
100%.
Once you level that playing field, all innovation will be human-driven again. And humans will have another kind of IP that I think will be more powerful than the IP they have today with IP offices. They will be seeing a lot of companies guard the information. As soon as OpenAI trained models on free information around the internet, everyone started putting up paywalls and logins, and they don't want to give away that. I think humans will adapt in the same way. The innovation will come, and they'll be very protective, and there'll be a new stream of income that's generated from that IP that they have.
So, Jason, even as a tech innovator, you still do admit that the fears and concerns that people have of AI are real and are true, right?
Yes.
However, there is potential, there is great opportunities that we can use AI in our daily use or our day-to-day operations, and it can work for us based on the information that we give it, right?
Absolutely, yes.
So in case now somebody listening to it and said, okay, but I'm giving AI limited information, but I still feel like it might know me or might use the information that I've given it to my disadvantage. How does one argue with that?
Oh, that's a tough question. Would you mind rephrasing that? So
sure. No problem. So say, for example, you invented Caesar AI, right? And it's with the intention to help. And yes, there are great things. Now, somebody else might say, but if I use it with the same information that I'm giving it, right? I'm drawing the line. I'm giving it some limitations. However, isn't there maybe a fear it's going to upgrade its memory? It's going to learn more than what I've given it. And that's going to work it's going to work against me. Is that possible? Is that true? What would you say to that?
I don't agree with that. It's one thing. We hear these headlines that AI is refusing to shut itself down. It's taking on its own consciousness.
100%. I was going there, but I didn't want to go there exactly. But you get it.
Yeah. So again, it stems from the fact that yes, it might be self-preserving based on the instructions that it has. However, I do feel there's a lot of like clickbait titles. I don't really subscribe to that school of thought. So.
But nevertheless, I still think I'm always team AI, and I know I get a lot of comments, people saying, aren't you afraid? No, I love it. I think where we're heading is great. We are improving as human beings. Somebody might disagree. Somebody's mother might say, hey, my child is addicted to a telephone or social media or whatever because of AI. They blame AI for everything. But nevertheless, I think it's a great opportunity. Like you said, we'll have better IPs, we'll have better things in the future. And this will only mean one thing: more job employment, more job occupations or job opportunities available for you listening to us right now. It doesn't necessarily mean that your job is going to be taken. Yes, there's some jobs that will fall behind. Let's be honest. We're not going to sugarcoat it. Some jobs will fall behind, but it only means one thing: more jobs will come with the advancement of AI. So I think it's a beautiful, beautiful innovation that you did create, Caesar AI. Absolutely wish you all the very best in your future. Now, this show is dedicated to the youth. You are young yourself. What advice do you have for them in general, in life, in technology, in anything?
I would say embrace the new technologies, be able to adapt. There's a lot of information out there that could be confusing and overwhelming. Just show whoever you want to add value to that you you know how to learn and you know how to adapt. And I think opportunities will open if they can see that in you.
Brilliant advice. And that is Jitan Bora, who is a Durban-based tech innovator and founder of Caesar AI, which is Africa's first fully email-driven AI platform designed to make artificial intelligence more accessible, affordable, and locally relevant to South Africans. So give it a try. Do check it out and let me know what you think, because this show is dedicated to you to let me know what are your concerns, what are your fears of AI and technology. Jitan, thank you so much for being here with us. We wish you all the very best.
Thank you so much.
And we will keep in touch.
Great.
Okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
I absolutely want you back on the show. Want to get a few feedback, and let's continue with the topic. You up for that?
Yeah, sure.
Look at that. He says he's up for it. Well, that is Career Campus with Kelly Ramzani. We're now going to take a quick break and be right back. Stay with us.
Sponsor an orphan, and you'll help support a vulnerable child to have the education they've always dreamed of, so they can build a brighter future. You'll be feeding a hungry stomach and a hungry mind with knowledge that will last them a lifetime. That's the power of an education. Sponsor an orphan now with Islamic Relief.
I used to keep it in a box, in a mall, with pretend security and humans watching my every move. Then I found Capital Vaults. Now it's stored in a real vault with discreet access. No human contact, no risk. I trust it more than my bank. If what you own matters, protect it like it does. Capital Vaults. Safer, smarter, uncompromising.
Career Compass with Kelly Ramazani.
Woke up with the light, the sky so blue upon my eyes, with a thankful heart. Today is another brand new start. I feel so positive. Just wanna do my best to show this world I'm living in all of the love that I can give you. Many things that I can do, many things, yeah. Make me feel so close to you, oh, within my heart can be rainbow. Within my heart when I'm loving you. Yeah. Every day's a good day. I put my life in your hands, Allah. You will always lead my way. Oh, every day's a good day. I give my life to you, Allah. You will always lead my way. I love this morning breeze. Love how it can revive my soul. I'm so glad to be surrounded by the people I know, filled with happiness. Just wanna give my all and be all that I can be. Share all my love and energy, yeah. Many things that I can do, many things, yeah. Make me feel so close to you, to you. Oh, within my heart can be rainbow. Within my heart right now, loving you. Yeah. Every day's a good day. I put my life in your hands, Allah. You will always lead my way. Oh, every day's a good day. I give my life to you, Allah. You will always lead my way.
سبحان الله مليك الكون لولا فضل الله ما كان يكون كنت أمري ديما وكل يوم لله سبحان الله مليك الكون لولا فضل الله ما كان يكون كنت أمري ديما وكل يوم لله
Every day's a good day. I put my life in your hands, Allah. You will always lead my way. Oh, every day's a good day. I give my life to you, Allah. You will always lead my way. Every day's a good day. I put my life in your hands, Allah. You will always lead my way. Oh, everything's a good day. I give my life to you. Oh, you will always lead my way.
The views and opinions expressed by the presenters and guests of Radio Al Ansar are not necessarily the views and opinions of Radio Al Ansar and the Al Ansar Foundation.
There you have it. So whatever I'm saying here on this show is solely my opinion, nothing to do with Al Ansar, okay? So don't hold Al Ansar against it, hold Kelly against it, but don't hold me against it. Hold research and studies against it. All right. It is Career Campus with Kelly Ramzani every Thursday, 1 to 2 p.m. only on 90.4 FM if you're in Durban, 105.6 FM if you're in PMB, and anywhere else around the world on www.alansar.org.za. It is Career Campus where we talk all things career related. We talk about AI. We talk about careers that are in demand. We talk about careers that do not require a degree, which is what we're about to talk about right now. We also talk about side hustles. We talk about soft skills. We talk about all things growth mindset. Okay. And I've seen some of your messages, which I will attend to shortly. For now, I'm joined in studio by the gorgeous, beautiful Sajda Ibrahim. She is the lead chef trainer at Sanzaf Chef School with over 25 years experience in food and beverages industry, with 8 years specializing in training and development. Now, Sajda empowers aspiring chef, particularly those from disadvantaged background, allowing them to believe in the skill of the chef, and that this can take you beyond your imagination. I love people that want to empower others, that want to see others grow, they want to see prosper and community building. And this is what Sajda stands for. They are now going to be starting a short chef course in August. So Sajda is here to tell us all about it. Sajda, assalamu alaikum. How are you doing?
Walaikum assalam, and thank you for having me.
Absolute pleasure having you here. You know, I've never actually asked you how you became a chef. I think today would be a great day for that. How did you start with the journey of becoming a chef?
So when I was younger, I always liked cooking. So I was always busy in the kitchen, trying new things and new vegetable cuts and stuff. And that time there was no Google, or I didn't have a computer, whatever. So I just used to practice on my own.
Hey, you wasted so many ingredients.
And family used to ask me to cook for them and make salads and make desserts.
So it came out nice.
Yeah. And then at one stage I was selling cakes from home. I was baking, icing and decorating and selling cakes from home. And I did home economics that time when I was in matric. And after school, deciding what career should I follow. So there was a couple of options. Journalism was the first.
Yeah.
And then chefing, my one cousin told me that, you like to cook, why don't you try this? So I went, I researched, I applied. I got an interview at ML Sultan DUT at that time. I went in for an interview and I got accepted.
Oh, wow. So you followed your passion.
I followed my passion. And when I was in third year, one of the catering companies gave me a bursary because I had good results. So they gave me the bursary for my third year as well. So from then on, I gained a lot of exposure working for 2 corporate companies, one British, one French.
Wow.
Over the span of 20 years before I came to Sanzaf.
Absolutely brilliant there. Wow, mashallah, Allahumma barak. I absolutely love successful stories. Somebody decided to follow their passion and look where it led them. And because of that, they want to inspire more people to follow their passion as well, but to also be good at it. It's important for you to be great at it. Now, let's go back to the chef course that's taking place in August. What is the criteria? What's the application process like? How can somebody listening say, hey, I'm up for it. I want to go and apply and I want to be part of this?
So as you know, we have the 36-month full qualification, which we take matriculants for that.
Yeah.
And during our application and interview process that we go through our guests and recipients, we've discovered that a lot of learners do not have a matric and are actually stuck.
Yeah.
And they don't have any option for them to actually progress. So the short chef course is actually a 3-month course, which is an NQF level 2.
Okay.
That means the entry requirements is a minimum grade 9 with a pass in maths of at least 33% pass rate. So you can get a a part qualification that actually will give you credits towards the full chef qualification.
All right, that's great. So there is an opportunity for people who don't have the matric.
Yes.
They can, apply for this chef course and it will assist them. Now, for someone that's listening right now, wondering if he or she can quit their job or maybe transform or transition rather from their job to chef or anything food related, for somebody that has been in this industry, what advice would you give them?
Okay, firstly, in this economic climate, you don't want people putting their jobs. That's very important as well. So besides my chef school, there's a lot of schools out there that offer qualifications part-time and on weekends. We don't actually do that right now. But if you want to quit your job, have the backing and support of your family for you to actually quit your job before you can take over your career. That's my first advice that I will actually give you. So if you want to look to and figure, are you qualified? Like I said, minimum grade 9 for the short course, matric for the full qualification, passes in maths at 33%, pass in English. You don't want to fail communication.
Yes, very important.
As well. A passion for the industry is so important because it's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of long hours. So you got to have a passion for that. And as you say, if you work in a career that is your passion, you don't work a day in your life.
100%. I've never really felt like I'm working. Now back to the chef course, the chef short course that we're talking about. You said it's 3 months with a minimum requirement of grade 9. If you have matric too, that's fine.
Yes, that's fine.
All right, not a problem. Now, how do you groom these aspiring chefs? What would you say are some of the successful stories that you've had or you've heard from your trainees?
Okay, firstly, how do you groom a person to become a chef? And this is advice that I always give my learners, and you can carry it in any field and in any industry. Firstly, number one is being responsible.
Yeah.
Right? Timekeeping is very important in this industry. As with any job, you got to be on time for your work. If your shift starts at 5 o'clock in the morning, you rock up at least 15 minutes before that because there is a shift handover as well. Respect for your chefs that are actually going to train and mentor you. They come in with years of experience, 25, 30, 40 years of experience as well. So they've been through the mill in their career.
They know what they're talking about.
Mentor and guide you and take their advice. That will help you go a long way. And also, chefs have different ways of doing things. How I would do a particular dish, another chef would do it differently. Learn from them. Learn different techniques. Learn different ways of doing things as well. So in terms of grooming, that's how I would actually give them advice. Your timekeeping, your respect is very important. Learning is very important. Like you mentioned earlier, having a growth mindset is very important as well, because you're going to learn from a variety of different people. And one day, one of my managers told me that, Sajida, when you do this, it's going to help you to grow. And being young at that time, I didn't understand it. And years later, that voice of his actually plays in my mind. And I could see my growth internally, mentally, knowledge-wise as well.
Now, speaking about voice, we do have a successful story that we are going to be playing. It is a voice note from one of Sajida's students. But we're going to play that shortly. Quickly, I just want to ask you something, Sajida. You mentioned the importance of how different chefs have different techniques and one should learn the different ways. But there's also the stigma that chefs are very strict. They're very hardcore. They're very vulgar. They're very serious, they got this. Is it true?
In some instances, yes, it can be true, but there's a company called Fair Kitchens. So with Fair Kitchens, if you're a chef and you feel that you've been abused at work and you're stressed and you're not performing up to optimum, you actually can contact them. They can counsel you.
Oh, wow. Okay.
As well. So that's Fair Kitchens. As a chef, personally, I'm not vulgar. my personality is very different. Being in an environment when you're at an NGO and you want to motivate people to grow and develop as well, and develop their self-confidence. And I've noticed with our disadvantaged learners, a lot of them come in with low self-esteem, low self-confidence, and we try to groom them that in there as well.
So that means a different approach.
My approach is very different. Yes, chefs are strict because they have bosses that they have to report to. They have executives that they have to
And this is food we're talking about.
Food that we're talking
about. It's a matter of life or death.
It's customers that paying for that food that you're actually going to serve them. And they pay a lot of money in a lot of instances. So yes, just standards have to be maintained. It's all about standards in the hospitality industry. You've got to maintain the standards, and you expect your employees and chefs to maintain standards as well. And yes, they can be, and they are very strict. So you have to be strong.
You have to be strong if you're going to go down this career path. Now, Sajda, thank you so much for coming. But for somebody listening right now, wondering how do they apply? How do they get hold of you? Or who do they contact? Do tell us that. And then quickly in 1 minute, tell us an advice so that you have for the listener right now.
Okay, so if you're interested in applying, you can email chefschooldbn@sanzef.org.za and I would reply to you as well. So I'll repeat that, chefschooldbn@sanzef.org.za.
All right. And for your advice?
So my advice for young and upcoming chefs or people that actually not sure of what they actually want to do in their career is to firstly, don't limit your options, try different things, volunteer at certain organizations and companies, work at a restaurant part-time.
See if it's for you first before you make that drastic change.
See if it's for you, because you don't want to spend a year at your life getting funded by somebody through our donors, and then you're going to drop out at the end. See if it is for you. That's why I say always keep your options open. If it is for you, and decide that it's for you, like I said, it's going to be a passion and you're going to thoroughly enjoy it. So that's one advice.
Jazakallah khair so much for your time, Sajda. And that is where we shall wrap it up. You shall hear me again next week, Thursday, same time, 1 to 2 p.m. here on Career Campus 90.4 FM. We have got a successful story that we are now going to play for you. Please listen to this. It might motivate you. And you never know. Tomorrow you might wake up and want to be a chef too. Okay? You never know.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Chef Abdul Qadir Jacob, and I'm currently working as a sous chef at the Fabric. I'm excited to share our Sense of Chef School transform